What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? How y'all feeling? The pastors was legalizing gay marriage anyway. Really? That's what we starting off with on a Wednesday? A-Dunn said they checking in from the office. Dame Lee, what up? Tavi says, Anton, miss you. Good morning. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday already. Patreon members, bag chasers. I got to give y'all the latest updates on the build that I'm doing. I was out at the property yesterday. It was working hard. So we got new construction coming up. So I got to give y'all an update on the latest build and the bag chasers. I want y'all to understand what's going on. All right. So I was on site yesterday. Directly after this show, I went straight out there. Had to meet my contractors out there in order to approve some stuff. Had to meet the city out there. Lots going on. I got to give y'all the latest update on me battling with another city in order to get something done. And so there's never a dull day. But when you, what am I saying right now? When you are, if you're going to have a headache with something that actually matters. Don't get a headache just for the sake of getting a headache for stuff that's irrelevant. If you're going to get a headache on something that matters. All right? Guess what don't stop? The movement, the money, progress, everything you're doing, you have to make sure that you stay fervent and dedicated and don't get distracted to where it mess up the movement. Forward motion 100% of the time. Up and forward. Up and forward. You said you missed doing construction work back home? Why you stop? Oh, and I don't feel bad. I'm not, none of that as far as like my voice. It's just that I be yelling, man. I be yelling, I be going at it. I be having a good time. We had a fun time last night on After Hours. Insert the Harlem Shake. I don't know how to do the Harlem Shake. I got to practice. I don't know. Bow Wow do it. King of the O-Town. What up? What up? What up, Azriel? What up, Jason 18? The money is good and it just works since you haven't really changed jobs. Started back driving trucks. What do y'all do for a living in general? Like, you don't have to say specifically where you work or anything like that, but what do y'all do for a living? You be grinding, bro, very inspiring. Oh, we don't miss. I don't miss at all. I never miss. I be on it, bro. I'm on it 100% of the time. You passed out last night? I wish I had that privilege. Consulting, electrical engineering, roofing, cybersecurity. You're the feds. You in the feds? I like that. I like the feds. Good morning, AD. What up, Kiwi? Navy workers, IT government, mailman. Be having me in the headphones. I like that. What's up, Keisha? Let's see. You in sales. Everybody that come in, let me know what y'all do for a living. I want to know what y'all do for a living. Medical records for vets. I own a club and a restaurant. What city? I cook in the morning and I bartend at night. Oh, so you get into it then. Local truck driver, diesel technician, entrepreneur. What type of entrepreneur? Senior systems engineer. Love the channel, says Kimberly, and I work for myself. What do you do? Give me a general idea. Barber in school for HVAC. I like that. Railroad manager. I put the fries in the bag. Yeah. Logistics, electrician. I can cook any and everything. I like that too. Sales. What sales? What field? Senior CNC programmer. I build conveyor machines. That's dope. I like that. I ain't heard that one before. Economist for the federal government. What up, Keisha? You work at a foundry. Wow. Shout out to my UAW workers at Ford Chrysler and GM and at all of the suppliers. Field engineer, heavy-duty gas turbines. See, people is out here getting to it, man. Lawyer, just kidding. Paralegal. We live, says you work at the post office. Own a small trucking company, truck driver, program manager for the feds. Logistics, sanitation, auditor, part-time tax preparation. EA in the C-suites. All right, I like that. Auto finance manager and marketing. What up, Slan? Senior project manager, digital marketing. I sling cow and glorified grape juice, so you sling wine. Milk and wine. truck driver, electromechanic tech, cybersecurity, attorney in the energy sector. All right, so you a bag chaser. You a bag chaser. Shout out to my carpenters, lawn care, housewife. Yeah, what up, Miss Bree? I was waiting. I was wondering when I was going to see a housewife. I ain't seen no nurses. I ain't seen no housewives. I ain't seen none of that. Truck driver. I want to go into plumbing, no tech support. Executive assistant for an attorney. Trucking company, Fed investigator. Got a lot of Fed people that work for the feds. Appliance repair, executive assistant. Vending machine, ATM, and trust. Shout out to my dog, Fi Brown. Similar to admin, land use service, realtor, IT. Do gig apps up for a rental car, mortgage, tax and insurance. Pursuing real estate license, ICT program manager. Utility locator, salesman, OF. Shout out to my OF. Laymar on there says Z on OF. Quality control chemist, learning IT environments. All right, I see y'all. Slaving for FedEx Ground, IT licensed barber, teacher and official, customer service, certified broker, delivery driver, validation engineer, environment security. Said he a dress code monitor at Ruth Chris. You say you're a dress code monitor at Ruth Chris? Well, then why don't we start there then? Let's start at Ruth Chris. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
How dolled up do you get when you go out to dinner? Do you dress to the nines or do the bare minimum?
No shirt, no shoes, no ties.
That debate over restaurant dress codes back on the menu, with Ruth's Chris Steakhouse recently saying it will enforce proper attire only, banning baseball hats from dining rooms and blacklisting gym wear, tank tops, or anything revealing. Chili's now roasting its competitor, saying in a new post, the only dress code is that you have to be dressed. It's all got the internet abuzz, some toying with the idea of a dress code mafia.
Take your hat off.
Excuse me?
They don't sell hot dogs here.
Darden Restaurants, which owns Ruth's Chris, did not comment. One user saying they'd rather go to Chili's, with others coming to Ruth's Chris defense saying a dress code should be the norm.
There's dress codes for a reason.
Simply have some decorum and respect us, like the company.
Some pointing out that for the money you pay for dinner, you should be able to afford a decent outfit.
The average price of a meal at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is $100. As the price goes up, expectations go up, and that's psychology 101.
On the flip side, with the cost of food at restaurants up 30% over the last 5 years, casual food chains are trying to appeal to customers not only with lax fashion, but lower prices too. Chili and Applebee's recently creating new value menu items to compete with fast food chains.
For $9.99.
The dress code debate not only happening at restaurants.
I'm just a boy trying to bring style back to travel.
Last month, Tampa's International Airport called out some travelers for being too casual, saying, "We've seen enough. It's time to ban pajamas." Later telling NBC News that the announcement was just a joke. But late last year, the U.S. Department of Transportation actually shared a campaign trying to bring back civility while traveling, including dressing with respect.
Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas.
Even Costco recently getting some press for its dress code, which is basically the age-old shoes and shirt rule.
Put the shirts back on.
There's no question, much of the world dresses more casually than people used to.
Over the years, Ruth's Chris has loosened their dress code. Back in the 80s, men were required to wear jackets.
So will the pendulum swing back to that? Or is it just a little nudge to remind you that sometimes, for the right occasion, you want to dress to impress?
So this actually all started from a guy, and maybe I should go ahead and try to pull him up. I'm going to try to pull him up. This conversation about Ruth Chris actually started from a guy that said that he had took his wife to Ruth Chris. And here, let me see. I got it. This is the original video. I'm gonna play it for you guys so that you can actually, I want to give credit, first of all. The first thing that I want to do is give credit to the content creators, because first of all, Ruth Chris is not having this conversation unless you first get it from the content creators. The content creators, the people that's in the culture, the people that talk about their experiences, are the ones that determine what happens at these companies. So when you say something and when you mean something and you create visibility for something, that's when they make the adjustment. This was the original conversation that sparked this whole Ruth Chris reinforcing the dress code and debate.
Let's talk about something that's on my mind, because I gotta get it out. So over this last weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, my wife and I, we was at Ruth Chris, right? We went to Ruth Chris. That was our first time, and I did a video on it, and like we were just like grateful to be there, because last year around this time we couldn't afford to be there. We couldn't afford much of anything. So, you know, we just did a video. Like, I was just so grateful, right? But there's one thing that I do have to talk about. I don't know what it is with us, and I hope you understand what I mean when I say us. I don't know what it is with us. Like, we feel like we have to bring this like street energy everywhere we go. Like, why am I sitting down with my wife at Ruth Chris, cutting into this nice ribeye, and I see dudes walking by with their pants sagging, with their jeans sagging, with these bubble coats with their hoods on? Like, yo, we gotta stop. Like, we gotta stop. And I know, listen, some of y'all are gonna be like, oh, you was just thanking God for this, now you judging. Listen, I'm not judging. I'm not judging them, and I'm not trying to be cynical. But we have to, like, yo, we gotta understand, like, yo, there's a time and place for every. First of all, like, we have to understand that how the world reads us is a reality. Like, yo, the way you present yourself is how the world reads you.
So he started oh, snaps. If you go over here, shout out to y'all. Says one of the first people that I see right up there says, hey, yo, bro, Anton Daniels posted your video. I didn't even realize that this was a thing. Is this how people be finding out that I be doing that I might have reacted and stuff like that? I didn't even realize that. But neither here nor there, because when Anton posts you, you got motion. All right. But let's look at a couple of these, just a few, like 3 or 4. Somebody then says, good old ribeye in front of your face, you just couldn't help yourself to look at boy butt, then proceed to make a video after it. Ruth Chris ain't shit. Then the other girl says, this man is 100% correct. People talk down on Ruth Chris not being fine dining. It's because some of you made it that way. Some of you turned that place into Applebee's going in there dressed like that. And then, of course, you got this woman right here that calls him a coon. Says his heart pumps coon blood because he said that we need to carry ourselves better. She called him a coon because he spoke on carrying ourselves better. So let's go to her profile. You know me, I don't mind going to the profiles and seeing what they look like. Yep. And this is why I don't take these people serious. This is why I don't take them serious. This is why I don't take them serious. Because these be the very ones. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. My bad. Them be the very ones. Let me get that back up on the screen. Them be the very ones that call you out of your name and say some of the wildest stuff to you. That's why I don't trip no more. I don't trip no more. I really don't. I genuinely don't trip no more. Listen. Y'all got to remember this. Whenever you start to think like, man, I wonder if people turning against me or somebody got negative to say about me, click on some of the profiles. And you'll remember, oh, you know what? I just need to go ahead and keep doing what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. Just stay focused. Yo, I can't stand this chat, bro. This chat is the worst chat ever. I can't stand y'all, bro. Y'all are ignorant, man. What is wrong with y'all? Dog says she a brown bear. Oh, God. Yo, y'all are diabolical, man. I can't stand y'all. I don't know what's wrong with my chat. I prayed for the chat the other day on the live stream. I said, Lord, fix my chat. They crazy. They crazy, bro. Oh, y'all an extension of me? Nope. I don't claim that. But anyways, I wanted to show y'all what people's
reaction. All right, so I'm going to talk about something.
That wasn't it. This was a follow-up video that he made because of it.
Y'all remember that dude?
What? The great national.
Y'all remember that dude that took his wife out to Ruth's Chris for Valentine's Day or something like that? And he was complaining that he saw people in there like sagging their pants and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was me. So it turns out, not only did Ruth's Chris see that video, they liked that video. Not only did they like that video, they just came out with a statement saying they're about to reinforce a dress code policy in their restaurants. All right, so this article is from the New York Post. It was just published yesterday, the 13th. Today's the 14th, all right?
So anyways, dog got it popping and he sparked the conversation across social media. Ruth Chris ultimately made an adjustment and said they wanted to enforce it. And so then you've seen other restaurants like Applebee's, not Applebee's, Chili's. Now Chili's is trying to capitalize off of it, right? And Chili's is trying to capitalize off of it in the same way that
how dolled up do you
King, remember when Burger King capitalized off of the whole McDonald's thing or whatever? That's what was happening, right? So anyways, first of all, I'm never going to compare Chili's to Ruth Chris. All right? Never going to compare Chili's to Ruth Chris. But I don't think, again, that it's unreasonable for us to start having higher expectations when we go outside. And it ain't just with Chili's. Yo, if you go to the wrong side of the airport, shout out to High Tolerance. I'm going to read all of the super chats in a second and the cash apps. If you go to the wrong side of the airport, all right, I think you should be able to fly wherever you want to fly. But here's the reality. Let's say, for example, here in Metro Detroit. And if you go to the airport, they got two different terminals. It's the McNamara terminal and it's the Evans terminal. The McNamara terminal is all Delta. And I'm not saying that Delta is like super high class or everything. The Evans terminal has every other airline, right? American Airlines, United, Spirit, Frontier, Sun Country, whatever airline flies out of Metro, they're going to be on the Evans terminal unless you go over to the McNamara terminal. McNamara terminal is 100% Delta 100% of the time, all right? When I go over to the McNamara terminal, for the most part, I've never seen anybody in a bonnet. I've never seen anybody in pajamas. I've seen them in sweats. I've seen them in hoodies. I've seen them in a lot of things, but I haven't. If you have to fly out through the Evans terminal, and that's not to say all of the airlines is ghetto or any of the airlines is ghetto, when you lower the amount that it takes to do anything, you raise the likelihood of seeing a bonnet, house shoes, and pajamas. The same ones they probably just got out of bed in, they're probably going to be walking through the Evans terminal. And what I found is that is universal, not just in Metro Detroit, it's universal around the country. And my question is, why do y'all have on bonnets? It's the same thing in Miami. If you catch a flight up in Fort Lauderdale or if you catch a flight down in Miami, either airport, if you go through the wrong terminal, you know what you're going to see? Chicks being wheeled in backwards because they didn't get the proper care and they got to get home on their BBL, so they're going to be sitting on the plane frontwards, depending on what side you on, depending on what group of flights you catching. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Everybody just skipped etiquette class. They skipped proper dressing and training, and they went straight to the airport, and they said, we're going to go to where we're going to go. They went straight to the restaurants and said, we want to eat. This is low class. We don't care. We going to spend all of the monies in the bow, wow, wang, wang, zaz, 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 and all of that stuff, and we going to go in, and we going to ghetto-fy it up, and we not going to give no respect to the establishment because we got money. We got money. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I get it that people dress down, but I think that people should make a more of an effort to actually carry themselves and dress a certain way. When I go to the basketball game, I'm fresh. I'm fresh. When I go to the restaurant, I'm fresh. I'm fresh. Anywhere I go, I'm going to be fresh. Even if I don't necessarily need to be suited and booted, I plan on being probably one of the best dressed that's in there. I'm just keeping it 100. Why can't we carry ourselves? And even if you slip up, even if you have some bad days, even if you, okay, you know what, you sick today or you're just not feeling it today, that shouldn't be your norm. That shouldn't be your norm. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that we need to carry ourselves better. And just because they want to capitalize off of your dollar, as far as like saying it's cheap, you can dress however you want, they just desperate for money. They're not necessarily giving you any standards. I want to stand out. I don't want to fit in. I've always wanted to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else, bro. The only time that I'm trying to dress down is when I'm just trying to blend in to not bring any visibility to myself, because it ain't even about that. That's not what it is. But when I go somewhere, I want to be fresh, and I'm doing it for me because it feels better. When you wake up in the morning, if it's just you by yourself, right? I'm in this studio by myself. Maybe, you never know. I'm in this studio by myself, right? I still tongue scrape. I still brush my teeth with an electric toothbrush. I still floss with the water flosser. I still use Listerine. I still make sure I get in the shower. I still got to do what I got to do. It's just me. Why do I have to be dirty just because I'm by myself? I don't care what I do and where I go. It ain't even for nobody else. I have to be good. Like, I can taste my own mouth. Like, I wanted it to taste like good. I don't want it to taste like demons. And you never know who you're going to run into, too, or when the opportunity presents itself. I've met a lot of people that I wound up keeping in touch with, and some that I even did business with off of an airplane. So I don't teach Henley commercial. This is just life. Just life. You should brush your teeth so you don't offend people when you talk, so you don't offend yourself. You do know that even if you get veneers, the porcelain veneers, you got to brush them. They don't stay white on their own. I just don't get it. I don't get why there are no standards at all. I just don't get why there ain't no sin. Like, you can have hungry breath. Don't have demon breath. It's a difference. Hungry breath is different than demon breath. You know what I'm saying? Way different. Way different. And stop refusing gum. All right. We got Relationship Wednesdays. Relationship Wednesdays tonight on After Hours. Time Dog is going to be there. Who we playing today? Am I going to that game? Let's see what's going on. Oh, we got back-to-back. Today we got Atlanta, and tomorrow we got in New Orleans. All right, I need to figure out if I want to go to either one of them games. I ain't going to go to both of them. That's too much. So we got Atlanta. We got Atlanta today. And then New Orleans tomorrow. I might skip today. Maybe I'll shoot through tomorrow and see what's happening, see what the move is. Because, you know, the Pistons won again. So I don't know. Brush your teeth, man. Stop having your whole house jacked up, smelling crazy. All right? Let me read some of these super chats. Sabrina says, I love y'all. Sometimes the HIV Hawks. Trey Day says, appreciate the gems, bro. I appreciate the games. You changed my life and way of thinking. My wife see a new man. Shout out to my dog, Trey Day. We adding value to families and relationships and money. Let's get this money. I hope I motivate y'all with my work ethic too. Because you notice how Time Dog don't miss. You know I don't miss. I don't care what time we get off on the live stream last night. I don't care what's happening. I'm not missing. You know what I'm saying, Trey? You in validation engineering. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Harley. Shout out to the validation engineers in the building. High Tolerance. What up, High Tolerance? Says salute AD and the bag chasers. Establishments are fatigued, especially the airlines. I see it on a regular at the airport, from hoes to parents, letting their teeny boppers out the crib with volleyball shorts and a long shirt. I wish my daughter would. Talk about it. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. I wish my people would. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not allowing for that to happen. High Tolerance, I first want to thank you. Secondly, I want to thank you. Thirdly, I want to thank you and everybody that support the platform. Thank you for the 50 bar, bro. I got a drink thrown at me in Ruth Chris 12 years ago. Chris, you got to let that go, though, bro. Chris holding on to grudges, man. You got to let that go, Chris. You can't keep holding on to that. Don the Architect says, good morning, AD, celebrating 1 year of being self-employed. Yo, shout out to the architects being self-employed, acquired over 100K and confirmed permitting and construction projects. And 26, shout out to your motivation and the bag chaser support. Truly blessed. Hey, man, congratulations, bro. We doing a live stream this weekend, too, just to let y'all know. I know we did one on Monday. I got a video dropping tomorrow inside of the Patreon. And then we doing a live stream on this weekend, all right? Shout out to you. Chris Cunningham says, I was excited that the Pistons lost Cam, but they've been winning without him. He said in the second round, we out of there. Keep doubting us. Keep doubting us. All right, we'll see. We already going to get the number one spot, and we're going to run through these playoffs. I'm telling you. Well, you'll see. You'll see. Brandon Beecham says, shout out to you, AD. Almost done paying off the student loans. Broke into cybersecurity and passed my CompTIA SEC Plus a couple months ago. My Security Plus a couple months ago. After Hours was lit last night, live over the replay. Shout out to Marvin's Room. Cups of the Rose. All my people been here. F that N-word cut you love so bad. Listen, this is the thing that y'all don't understand about Marvin's Room. Because y'all be saying, oh, man, it's a hater song. He hating all of that stuff. If she loved you, you wouldn't be able to get in touch with her anyway. Woo! So if she is listening to voicemails and is on the phone with another dude that's saying, man, listen, why you in love with him? And she got to keep convincing herself, saying over and over again to the guy, no, I don't want to talk to you. I love him. I don't love you. She don't love him. She don't love him. She's trying to get you to talk her out of the situation and talk you into in your bed, bro. If you still got access to her and she responding, that's not his chick. That's the part that y'all missed. I'm just saying you can do better. Tell me, have you heard that lady lately? Yeah, that's both of our girl. I'm just letting her stay at your house. That's both of our girl. Listen, here's the reality. As a culture, we all sharing the same chicks anyway, bro. Some of them graduate and level up to being with somebody like an AD. You know, you keep the baby mamas, keep the bottom chicks out the way. That's the real goal. That's what women don't understand. This is not applicable to me. I'm just going to tell you what the game is. This is the game. The goal is to keep your main out the mix. But for the most part, because like if you a single guy, then most of the time what's happening is you got the girl that you might be feeling a little bit, but you're not tripping about them, and you understand that all of them is for all of us, right? And then you got the chicks that you're trying to set to the side. All right, cool. Listen, I'll marry you because I don't want nobody else to have access to you, or I'm not willing to lose you, That's really what marriage is. I'm trying to put a stamp on you because I don't really want you out here in these streets. So those are the ones you set to the side. Now, a lot of guys is trying to trick the game, and they trying to say, listen, why we got to be married, but I still want to set you to the side. Now, the chick don't really feel like you love her the way that you love her if you don't put a ring on her finger, because to her, she got to be able to show off to her friends, look, girl, look at this. And then they going to say, you ate, girl, he ain't letting that get away. He ain't letting that get away. And so, listen, this ain't my opinion, Azriel. This is just the culture. I'm telling you what the culture and how men think. All right? If you say stay single, which is okay, Mike, then what you're basically saying is I like sharing. I like sharing. That's all you saying. I like sharing. I'm willing to share. Because at any time, now that don't mean that just because you're married that she can't cheat. All right? But we're going to assume and we're going to throw that out the window right now just to be able to have a conversation. What you're saying is at any point, even if she's faithful to me right now, she can switch up because it ain't nothing holding her. Ain't nothing preventing her, right? And so a lot of times you try to keep her single or you try to keep her on a leash. But one of the things that you also don't know is because she's not mentally in a space to where she truly believes that she's yours, because she feel like you kind of just holding on and waiting till a situation pop off to where you can justify marrying her. She's still on the market technically, and she cheat from time to time sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? She dip off. In her mind, she convinced herself that didn't really happen. It happened. It happens sometimes. Now, for the people that actually get married, a lot of times you setting her to the side, oh man, that's my baby. There goes my baby. Voice a little hoarse right now. And that's the mother of your kids. You know what? I'm going to make an honest woman out of her. I met her daddy. She actually got a strong household. Cool. So, but then you got the rest of them, right? And the rest of them, those are the ones that's doing TikToks. This is what I want in a man. This is what I'm looking for. He got to be this. He got to make sure this, whatever, so on and so forth. That's everybody, chick. And the real caveat, the real trick in life is that women think that they're actually rotating through men and that they thinking like men, but they don't realize that they just a part of the rotation. They're a part of the game, baby. You're a part of the game, baby. So, the reality, coming back to it, the reality is this. You think you don't share. Everybody is sharing the same chicks. They all of ours. Everybody's sharing. Everybody's sharing, bro. I just don't want you to get your heart broken. That's why I'm telling you the truth. And again, this ain't got nothing to do with me. This is just the game. The game is the game, bro. You can't get upset because she got somebody else. You just got to wait your turn. It's your turn. They all what you got with a virgin? If you didn't get with a virgin, then what you thinking? What you think she putting preservation box up for you? She not. Just because she don't talk about it to you don't mean that she yours. What you think that when you don't talk to her for the next 2 months that she was just sitting at home waiting by the phone like a schoolgirl back in the day, like a New Edition video? Think she just winging it, that she just go to work and come home every day and sometimes she go to the bar by herself to get a drink? Yeah, okay. You ain't that dumb. I know you stupid. I know you done been around the block a couple times, but you ain't that dumb. But you think she keep taking solo trips by herself? You think she paying for it? She ain't even got no money. She was just complaining about her student loans. She was whining about the fact that the government had shut down. Now all of a sudden she got some money to go somewhere and to be able to get to where she need to go. She keep taking pictures at the dinner table of her food. You think that she paid for it? She ain't paying for her own food. They feeding her because she providing a service.
Really, it ain't worth it. That's the real conversation. It's really not worth it because every day you taking Russian roulette, right? Even if you check her my chart, even if she recently been tested, she got another person that she just met and he ain't been tested and she about to throw it back for a real one. And you don't know what he got and what he brought to the table. And I'm talking about disease-wise, what his disease plate is. And then he going to affect her. It's going to incubate for a couple weeks. I heard it's 42,000 people supposedly that tested for STDs in Houston. But here's the key. A lot of them haven't even fully incubated yet. It takes 2 weeks to find out what they got. It's telling you the truth, bro. Telling you the truth. It's not worth it. It's so much more peaceful to just live a regular life, bro. It's so much more peaceful to live a regular life. It ain't worth it. That's the bottom line. Is that anything that disturbs your peace ain't worth the time and the effort that you have to put into it in order to be there. That's the whole thing that I'm telling you right now. It's not worth your peace. That's the key. That's the biggest caveat to just being in the game, chilling, and not even worrying about nothing. It's not about staying single. It's about staying peaceful. It's about being peaceful. That's all it is, bro. It's about being peaceful. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to deal with nothing. Your phone calls are very much expected as far as how it's going to go. When she call you in the morning, it's going to be like, hey, how's it going? Did you sleep good? Okay. Are we still on for dinner tonight? That's it. It's peace. It ain't no trauma. It ain't no arguing. It ain't no going back and forth. You said that you was going to do. What are we? You ain't got to have that conversation. Well, what are we? Every time you go inside of her, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're about to get a disease. You wake up feeling anxious. Every little itch, you want to get checked out, or you scared to get checked out because you feeling like, oh man, could this be the time? Is this the time? Now I've been dodging all of this time that I just got me some herpes. Shaving down in your pelvic area because you're trying to check for bum bumps. I ain't got no time for that. Ain't about to be checking for no bum bumps. Get the heck out of here. The question is, do you want to share? It's not that are we sharing? We all sharing. Do you want to share? It's not worth it, bro. Bum bumps in your pelvic area is not worth it. You don't want to scratch all day. That's not it. That's not what's popping. Keeping it 100 with you. Somebody said take y'all butts to get checked out. And see, this is what I'm saying about peace. You don't have to worry about that because you just going to regular doctor's appointments and doing whatever it is that you got to do because you ain't out here in these streets. That's the key. That's the key. You can look at everybody else funny because you know you clean. You looking at everybody else with the side eye because you know that you out here clean. You just go to regular doctor's appointments. You don't worry about none of that foolishness, bro. Chilling. Just ain't worth it. It's not worth it. So are we all sharing as a culture, obviously? Please try not to take it out of context, but I know you will anyway. I don't care. Are we all sharing? Absolutely. Do you want to remove yourself from carpooling and sharing cars with everybody else? Absolutely. Go get your money, man. We ain't got time to be testing for no diseases. Go get your money up, bro. Look at this thing. Easy. So dumb. Married women are the best side pieces. till somebody try to kill you. Because when he discover it, you're not going to know that he found out because she slipped up, and you don't know how he react to it. See, it's all cute. It's all cute and fine and pretty till you didn't know. And now you got to get crashed out on. That's the key, is that you want to control the controllables. That's the biggest key. It's not that these chicks ain't out here wild. Is that I don't feel like being in a position to where I'm getting some kind of unexpected package. Hold on one second. I got to make a quick phone call. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, y'all. Let me read some of these super chats and these cash apps, and then we're going to go ahead and continue with the show. Shout out to my dog, Mike. That dude says, thanks for the value. Bag chasers, we up. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, I also want to say that make sure you get into the Discord. The link in the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. Shout out to I am Brandon Beecham. United has a relax section that turns into beds. Never been on that plane. Shout out to you. Purple Haze, I appreciate you, bro. Sean Duncan III says, hey, D, I just got a raise at one of my jobs. Can I leverage that to get a raise at my other job? Only if you're willing to walk away from it. Because you don't want your other job to know that you got another job. You know what I'm saying? So the answer is no. Unless you're willing to walk away from the other job completely. You never want to let the right hand know what the left hand is doing, and you never want to let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. I have been on United. I just didn't know that they had certain planes that turn into beds. You don't want to let them know. Don't let them know what you got going on. Keep that out. Keep that on the low. Don't tell them. AD says Brandon Beecham. The problem is that most have already gave the box away. Almost made the phone call last night. Shout out to the house. Jay, keep it real says, good morning, AD and the bag chasers. What up, keep it real, Jay? I appreciate you. High Tolerance says a lot of women are down to share. Whether they'll disclose it, that's a different story. They'll tell whoever it is that they feel comfortable with. Real talk, AD, I'm scared most of the men's wives have pics under a man's phone. They do. They do. It's such a diabolical game. I'm 30 minutes behind on the live stream. I'm a maintenance supervisor for an apartment complex. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, y'all. Let's continue on with the show. I want to give y'all an update on what's happening at the airports, too. Before I get into the update on the airports, let me get into this first. Have y'all heard this story right here?
Win for one Ohio mother dealing with an unthinkable tragedy. A jury deciding Chelsea Walsh's former employer, TQL, must pay her more than $22 million after denying her the ability to work from home during her high-risk pregnancy. In February 2021, Walsh underwent emergency surgery to prevent early labor. She requested to work from home following the advice from her doctor to remain on bed rest. The lawsuit alleges Walsh's manager gave her two options: remain on unpaid leave until she gave birth, or work in the office against medical advice.
So we are in a different time and in a different era where people are now able to sue because their employer did not allow for them to work from home. Now, I see somebody in the chat, Jordan said, easy lawsuit. Why you say that, Jordan? Why you say that? I'd be willing to make the argument this way, Jordan. This is why companies don't want to deal with women. They have a much, much, much greater success rate and less headache. The same way that some people don't want to deal with women in their household is the same reason why a lot of companies try to stay away from women, bro. They don't want to deal with the headaches. They don't want to deal with the contractions. They don't want to deal with your life issues. They don't believe that you have the same work ethic, nor the same availability, nor the same attitude as men. They don't want to deal with it at all. They just don't. They don't want the headache. There's no way in the world that I would side as a juror. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat. There's no way in the world that I would decide as a juror to side with the woman. She had multiple options. And let me tell you why. First option, remain on unpaid leave of absence until she gave birth. It's the first one. All of this is logical to me. The second one, work in the TQL office against medical advice. So this tells me you got a choice to make. You can either come into work or you can go home. But we're not responsible for paying you because you decided to get pregnant, because that's not a benefit that we offer when you signed up to work for the company. So how is it now my fault and my responsibility? Because if I knew that it was a possibility that you can get pregnant and I'd have to pay for you to have a baby, then I wouldn't have hired you. That is a perk. That is a benefit, not a requirement from my perspective. This is another reason why I think that people should only do contracting. This is another reason why I think that when people hire and when companies bring in contractors, they don't want the responsibility or the liability of hiring this person on as an employee. So they'd rather 1099 you than W-2 you, because they don't feel like all of the headache. They don't. They gave her $22.5 million for her deciding to get pregnant, knowing that she had the job that she had. I said it the other day and y'all thought I was crazy. I said that companies are getting away from women as a whole. Now that they don't have to meet criteria and it's on some, you got to sell a company. Why should I hire you? You got to sell them, because I've worked with women. Women have worked for me, with me, the whole 9 yards in corporate America and private business regularly. The thing that I will tell you is that 9 times out of 10, now this don't take away from their ability to do great work. I think that they are great salespeople. They're great conversationalists. And they're great marketers when they're there or when they actually is focusing on that job. But it takes so much to get them to go. It takes so much to deal with the foolishness. It takes so much to get her in the right position. And then you might have to deal with a bad attitude or not. You might have to deal with her going on TikTok saying, I don't like my job and this is where I work at. You got to deal with all of this foolishness. Honestly, a lot of employers are like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So a lot of women will then get on the internet and say stuff like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I applied to 9 million jobs and nobody wants to hire me. It's like a contractor, right? Let's say a construction contractor. I remember when I built my first restaurant. You know the biggest headache in my life, the biggest thing that I ever have to deal with, and I finish everything. I don't halfway do stuff and don't complete it. I finish everything. The biggest headache in my life was dealing with contractors, specifically Black construction managers and contractors that didn't finish jobs or didn't complete it or just wouldn't show up. I just didn't understand it. It didn't make sense. Why would you come and pitch me the job and you're not going to show up? Whatever you offered, I accepted. Okay, cool. Whatever that is, yep. I do it. Let's get to it. You holding up my progress. I can't bring in this contractor because you ain't doing your job. So guess what the reputation is? And it don't mean that all Black people or all construction managers or whatever is bad. But what does it mean? It means that people have created a reputation that if you hire a Black contractor, you got a 50%, 40%, 30% chance that he's going to come through and do what he's supposed to do. So what do? You don't necessarily hire white contractors. You go and you look for people that's been in the business and has a reputation for doing business the right way. And so then Black people will come through and they'll say, well, you're not giving us a new opportunity. I'm new in the game, or I got a construction company. How come I can't get a bid? Because people want to actually get the job done and they don't want to take a chance. It's the same thing when it comes to these type of stories. I can't believe that they gave this woman $22.5 million. Respectfully, I'm not sure that there's a child from a regular worker that is worth $22 million. We'll get there.
Couldn't afford to lose income or health insurance, so she made the difficult decision to return to work. Just days later, though, Walsh went into labor, giving birth to her daughter Magnolia at just 20 weeks and 6 days. Magnolia died in her arms an hour and a half later. And now I want to bring in our NBC News legal analyst, Misty Maris, to help us understand this case. Misty, clearly such a difficult case and tragic circumstances. The jury found enough evidence in the mother's case to side with her. So walk us through what they decided.
Yeah, Gabe, this is obviously a tragic case, and it's a very unique legal theory. This was brought under a wrongful death statute. So this is seeking damages relating to the death that is to compensate the family, the loved ones who have lost their loved ones. So this is about negligence. It's whether or not there was a foreseeable risk that this terrible tragedy would occur. So what the jury was focusing on and what was presented at trial was what the employer knew and when about the high-risk pregnancy and those circumstances. And when they did not grant the plaintiff the ability to work from home, was that the cause of this tragic outcome? So the jury ultimately found in favor of the plaintiff, meaning that the plaintiffs were able to get that evidence over the net. The jury found it credible and ultimately gave this $20+ million award.
And look, Misty, something that stood out to us in the suit. Lawyers for Walsh, they say that her husband spoke with his employer's HR manager, who told him the work-from-home denial his wife got was wrong. That manager contacted an executive at TQL to tell him they were making a mistake, to which the exec responded, quote, "Thank you, you just saved us a lawsuit." How much did that likely help Walsh's case here?
So wait a minute. The father was there. She got a husband. A. Dunn says the husband stood up. Nope. I disagree with you 100%. I disagree with you 100%. Paige says, AD, a lot of women go through certain instances relating to their health, such as horrible menstruations. I know I was one and it truly affected my daily work ethic. Well, that's why I say what I say. Y'all don't like it when I say this, and I'm going to say it again. I don't believe that women that have children should, especially new mothers, mothers that are pregnant, mothers that are about to have children, mothers that have children and have children that are not in school full time. I personally do not believe that they should be working. Somebody, A. Dunn says the husband stood up for it. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You know why? Because if he was really, really in her favor, he wouldn't have never let her be working in that situation in the first place. He would have never had her health under that. It wasn't the job's responsibility. It was your husband's responsibility. You never should have lost a child because the husband proactively should have said, nah, you ain't going to work. What you doing? Sit down. That's what happens when you have leadership. You lean on people that are above you to make a decision that's best for you. She should have never been in that situation in the first place. Never. You know what the conversation should have been? Okay, well, listen. If they're not going to let you work from home, you're just going to have to quit. Or you're going to have to stay on unpaid leave. I'll pick up some extra hours. I'll pick up another job. I'll do what I got to do. I'll do whatever. But we're not going to put your health at risk, and we're not going to put our baby health at risk. That's your husband's responsibility. That ain't got nothing to do with the company. Somebody said TCL or TQL is a horrible company. Then why you let your wife work there? That's my question. Well, if it's such a bad company, why she working there? Because nobody made her work there. Nobody made her apply. Nobody made her do any of that stuff. Why you got your chick in a space that's toxic then? Says because she got to pay half the rent. That's why. That's why. That's why I see it differently, because I look at it from the lens of a man. I look at it from the lens of a man. Now, I don't feel sorry for corporations. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. I look at things proactively and I say, well, why are you even in that situation in the first place? Why would you let them put their health on the line to possibly die? Just a question. When it's a life or death situation, that's when you got to step in as a man. She don't really get to make that decision for herself like that. If I'm your husband and life and death is on the line, nah, we got to make the adjustment. We're not about to put your health on the line. Listen, you just going to have to stay off work or you got to quit. You got to quit. The minute that we determine, you got to, matter of fact, I'll go so far as to go way before that. When you are, because children should be planned, in my opinion. Children should be planned. Well, what does that mean, Anton? That means that there should be no more oops babies in 2026 and beyond. We got too much technology. We're too intentional. We got too many different ways in which you can prevent that pregnancy. We shouldn't even be having this. We shouldn't even be having conversations about my body, my choice, right? We shouldn't be having conversations about whether or not, you know, you should bring life into this world and all of this stuff. We shouldn't be having those conversations because everything should be had prior to y'all ever even having this woman pregnant in the first place. What are we doing? Why are kids bringing a life into this world a mistake? That's why I don't support abortion. Because it's like, wait a minute, you didn't know that it was a possibility for you to get pregnant if you have sex without a rubber? You mean? There's no need for it because all of this should be, we adults. You a grown person. You don't know how your cock work. You don't know that you can get her pregnant. It's so many different, man, it's 1,000 ways. It's 1,000 different barriers to entry before you even get there. There's no reason for us to ever have a mistake baby in 2026 and beyond. That's diabolical if you ask me, bro. I'm never ever going to be in a position. If I have a kid, I meant that. Ain't nothing mistaken about it. If I have a child, I meant to have that child. That's that. We could gaslight. We can go back and forth. We can jump on panels and debate it all day. Whatever. If I have a child, I meant to have that child. Whether I determine whether she keeps it or not. This is just the reality. I know we don't want to do this. I know we put the responsibility should be on the women because you are the one that have to have the birth. But this is just me personally, if I get you pregnant, I meant to get you pregnant. Whether I go, man, you can't have this kid and whatever you want to call it, I meant to get you pregnant. Today, I meant to get you pregnant. So that just, for me, this is a weird case, bro.
Really a central part of the case.
A jury full of liberal women.
It's a really just convoluted fact pattern because you have this piece of information that's so critical coming from outside the company, and then the response really being about saving a lawsuit. Gabe, that speaks to that issue of whether or not there was a foreseeable risk. The response really indicates that it was known by the company, or that's the argument, that it was known by the company that there could be a tragic outcome if in fact they did not act. So that's certainly something that was focused upon, and clearly the jury, finding in favor of the plaintiff, saw it that way and applied it in that sense.
And Misty, quickly, this is obviously a very specific situation, but have we seen any other rulings like this? And at what point do people have the right to remote work protection?
So there's no right to working from home, but there's other legal standards like accommodations for medical conditions that could be at play, and that's under federal and state law. It's interesting because this case was not brought under those statutes. Instead, it was brought under this wrongful death statute based in negligence. So really, when you're talking about a negligence case, it's all the factors that are known to that defendant and whether or not a risk was foreseeable that could result in the damages. So that's the analysis at play here. A really, really unique way to bring the case. But
listen, bro, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I think that as an employer, as a responsible human being, I think that every guy and every employer needs to reevaluate every candidate that comes in and says, I want a job, if it's a woman. I'm just keeping it 100. For you to have this type of information, to see this type of story and not make the adjustment as an employer, you a fool. You are a fool. I think you have to meet that don't mean, I'm not telling you don't hire women. I'm telling you that you need to go through with extra scrutiny and with a more watchful eye than you normally would. If you get a woman in your circle, and I don't care what industry you're in, I don't care if you're in marketing, I don't care if you're a manufacturer of some sort, I don't care if you're in sales, I don't care if you're in as a content creator. I'm telling you that you need to evaluate, and the same way that we tell people that they need to vet their wife, that's the way you need to vet your women that you're going to have working for you. You got to vet them, bro. You know, you need to know whether or not she about to be married or not, if she already got kids, if she's of childbearing age. You need to go through her social media and see who she really is. Find out the other employers that she worked for and what her reputation is. You got to know, bro. You got to know. Don't put your business and your well-being on the line for a woman that you don't know, giving her just a random chance just because she sent you a resume. We're going to have to be a lot more careful of the women that we let into our sphere. And y'all made it this way. So you can't get mad. You can't get mad at the adjustment that employers and men are making. Man, get the hell out of there. I ain't worried about no lawsuit. I'm the one that filed the lawsuits. I don't have lawsuits. I file them. I don't have them. I listen. Play that game if you want to. Bro, that's why you sign paperwork before you ever get into my presence. You can't even get near me. You can't get close to me unless you get that paperwork popping. I'm paperwork party all day long. You can't even talk to me without no paperwork in person no more. But Anton, you employ almost 80% of your staff with women. Just kidding. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. But all of the people that work with me as women, they have been with me for a very long time. I'm saying going forward from this year out, and I don't mean that I ain't been betrayed. I ain't special. I've been able to find more effective people organically. Don't mean that I ain't been done dirty. Don't mean that I don't get women that call off way more than the men. I'm telling you that going forward, you're going to have a more watchful eye. That's it. And it don't mean that men ain't weak too. I'm just telling you, if you're looking at stuff like this and you're paying attention to what they're saying on social media, you'll be a fool to not be a lot more mindful of what it is that you're dealing with. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's not, listen. Everything is not a but. Everything is not a but. But, what am I saying that's not resonating with you to where you would want to refute it? Everything is not a but. It's not always a but. Like you find out new information and you make adjustments. The more I learn, I'm smarter today than I was yesterday. I'm smarter today than I was a year ago. I'm smarter today than I was 2 years ago. I'm smarter today than I was 3 years ago. Whatever it is that I did in my 30s, I'm making adjustments in my 40s. This shouldn't even be something that we debating. I don't get it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. The code Niniola says, yo, AD, you still coming to the UK, need to set up a bag chasers meetup. Yes, I am. I will be in the UK. I will be in the United Kingdom. I don't know exactly where. Actually, it's so funny that I need to do a little bit more research because in a space where I'm going to be spending the majority of my time, I need a really good hotel in that area. So we're going to figure it out today. I'll figure it out today because I still need to get my hotel rooms. You know, I got to get multiple hotel rooms. And my Chris Tucker voice says, who the hell is she giving birth to? Chelsea Clinton? Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lott. Mr. Lott, thank you, bro. Reed says, my family hired all black contractors that will remodel our basement for DEI. And to this day, 2 years back, we have more problems showing up. Mama, what up, mama? What's good, AD? We had the baby. What up to Carmaya? Congratulations. Girl, I'm about to tie your tubes because you're the most fertile woman that I know right now. You're the most fertile woman that I ever knew. Congratulations. What's the baby name, though? I don't know what the baby name. Who that baby name? Eric Harris says, the moment a woman tells me she can't stand long, I'll respond, I'll be calling, then dispose their application. Spaces says, shout out to NDA Time Dog, Consent Agreement Daniels. It's a fact. That's a fact. Get your paperwork in order. Don't let them tell you that they just nice. AD, what's the word, big dog? Thunderbird, Sterling. Thunderbird, big dog. What's the word? Thunderbird. All right, let's move on. I want to give y'all an update on what's going on at the airport. Delta has decided that they want to remove Congress perks because they can't get the federal government open. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's remove this foolishness.
Well, now at 9, the Department of Homeland Security, funding has been shut off since Valentine's Day, and that means TSA agents have not been paid in more than a month.
As we've been showing you, it has led to call-outs and chaos at the nation's airports, including here in Atlanta. There was a promising development today. Senate Republicans say they reached a deal to fund the DHS except for a small portion of the immigration enforcement, which is a concession to Democrats. If Democrats go along with that, funding for TSA would resume, bringing relief to commercial air travel.
Yeah, in the meantime, Atlanta-based Delta Airlines putting its own pressure on lawmakers to reach a deal. Atlanta News First, Bridget Spencer is live from Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. And Bridget, first of all, how are the lines looking tonight?
Well, Tracy, Blair, some good news to report. We are seeing significant progress. Things are pretty much smooth sailing here in the main checkpoint. You wouldn't believe it if you looked at the photos and the videos from yesterday. But that doesn't mean it will stay quiet like this. Not only travelers are getting angry about the shutdown, but also the airlines like Delta are speaking out on it. Things were quiet at TSA checkpoints at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International on Tuesday. Far cry from what we saw the past few days.
It was unbelievable to see the lines outside of the airport.
Atlanta's airport is one of the many major airports that saw complete chaos at TSA checkpoints, all due to staffing shortages with the partial government shutdown.
What we experienced this past weekend was 4 hours in Hartsfield Atlanta Airport, which was just an atrocity.
Hartsfield-Jackson is seeing a TSA call-out rate of nearly 40%. Delta Airlines putting pressure on lawmakers, stopping Congressmember perks for now. These perks included services like airport escorts and red coat services.
I didn't even know that Congress had these perks. This is all new information to me. Let me see. Delta Congress. What are these perks, they say? Delta's Congress perks. Specialty services for Congress members. VIP treatment similar to other frequent flyers. So they don't have to necessarily be diamond medallion. They just get VIP special treatment no matter what. Special VIP treatment such as upgrades and rebooking. They are now treated as standard passengers based solely on their SkyMiles loyalty status. They do maintain the access to Capitol Desk, a dedicated phone line for ticket reservations. Why do they get special perks? I don't understand it. You know what? I wonder how many special perks Congress members get. How many special perks do Congress people get? That's what I'm wondering. What kind of special perks do they get, and how many of them are there? You said Congress has those perks for every airline. I worked at both United and Delta, and yes, they definitely get VIP no matter what. Cart service, upgrades, etc. But I'm wondering what other services do they get outside of just the airline? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they get services at certain restaurants? Do they get services when it comes to black car service? Do they get services as far as special security? What other perks come with being a congressperson outside of having information and insider trading?
they should. Yes, very fair. They should do it all the time, though, not just this time.
Leslie Lumpkins disagrees and thinks travel needs to be seamless for lawmakers.
Y'all said ask AI? You see what my baby girl talking about? You know, she a little ghetto, so she might act up. You know what I'm saying? Baby girl, what kind of perks do Congress members get, not just with airlines, but in general? Is there any additional perks that I need to be aware of? Because I'm doing some research and I'm trying to understand, because I know Congress on average gets paid something like $174,000 a year. Do they get any additional perks from outside businesses?
That's a good question. Generally, members of Congress have pretty strict rules about accepting gifts or perks from outside businesses because of potential conflicts of interest. There are laws and ethics guidelines that limit how much a gift can be worth, and sometimes they have to disclose them. They do get certain allowances to help run their offices and travel back home, but those are separate from perks from private companies. Are you looking into specific types of businesses or just a general overview?
No, specific types of businesses. Again, it's similar to like the airlines. Delta is suspending VIP treatment of Congress members, which include red coat services. And so I'm wondering what other perks come with Congress members outside of what's happening within their office.
You're right to focus on that specific example with Delta. Historically, some travel companies have offered VIP services to members of Congress, like special reservation desks, escorts through airports, or those red coat services we mentioned. It's possible other companies might have similar perks, maybe free upgrades at hotels or with rental cars, though again, they have to be careful about conflicts of interest and reporting rules. Are you trying to find out about specific travel sectors like hotels or something?
Yeah, give me something about hotels.
Well, just like with airlines, VIP treatment from hotels like automatic upgrades could be considered a gift with limits. They might get government rates, but those aren't the same as special perks. Sometimes loyalty programs reward frequent travelers. So if a member travels a lot for work, they might get status that naturally gets them upgrades. But that's different from being treated like a VIP just because of their job. Are you wondering about specific instances or just the general possibilities?
I'm good, baby girl. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Feel free to ask if anything else comes up with your research.
So basically what she's telling me is that you'll never know. You'll never know. You will never truly know what kind of perks Congress gets until they get exposed for it. None of us knew anything about these perks that they was getting from Delta. None of us. We'll never know. That's what this is basically telling us. Until Delta said, listen, man, we're not giving y'all VIP services or none of that no more. None of us would have ever knew anything about it. They probably got so many perks. They probably get all kind of stuff. Look up gifts, U.S. Senate-elect Committee on Ethics. All right, I'm going to see if I can get to that.
Our elected officials need to be protected. They need to travel because they need to represent us.
In a video statement, Senator Raphael Warnock spoke on the stalemate between the parties.
Everybody agrees that we ought to fund the TSA workers. They don't ask us, are we Democrats or Republicans? They keep us safe every single day.
Travelers are just hoping the two parties can come together and do the right thing.
A lot of people, two paychecks away from being homeless. So these people are out here and they're missing paychecks. What happens if you miss the paycheck?
Now, on a typical day, you can go on the TSA wait times website online, and it'll tell you just how many minutes you have to wait. But here it's saying get here at least 4 hours before your flight. Now, although things are quiet today, I would try not to be fooled by this. You never know, as you've been seeing over the past couple of days. Delta also announcing that they have some flexible ticketing options for travelers stuck in all of this. We're live from Atlanta's airport. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
This morning, new urgency to reach a deal to fund Homeland Security and pay TSA agents. Some travelers are now arriving up to 7 hours early for their flights.
That's one of the things is that if you fly, a lot of people are making some adjustments. They fly in and going through certain terminals. They're going through the international lines. I didn't say that. I don't know nothing about it. I'm just telling you what's happening. They're going through the international lines in order to try to bypass these TSA lines. They'll fly super early or super late because the lines will have dwindled. What you see here is middle of the day. Middle of the day, you hit anywhere from 8:39 all the way till about 6:30 at night. You hit. You're absolutely hit. You might as well mail it in, big dog. If you're one of the first flights out, you usually are okay, because you're the first people that really start to get to the airport. You one of the last people out, you usually can be okay. First flights is always the cheapest, and on non-busy days, the whole 9 yards.
Fearing massive security lines at some airports.
Some passengers are missing flights, and so they're coming the next day. And so all of that is just adding to more congestion, adding to longer lines.
In Houston, this line stretching across 3 floors. TSA agents have now gone 40 days without being paid. More are calling out sick or quitting.
Most of us have maxed out our credit cards. We've taken loans out. We just don't have any more to give.
In Michigan, a veterans nonprofit is switching gears to help TSA workers, providing staples like milk and eggs.
I thought, you know what if it was us? What if it was veterans in that position and we weren't getting paid?
In Florida, this landscaping company is now collecting donations for TSA officers. In Washington, there appears to be new momentum for a deal to end the standoff. Senate Republicans have now agreed to fund the TSA and every agency inside Homeland Security except for immigration enforcement.
It is essentially what the Democrats have been asking for.
Democrats pitched the plan, suggesting they're willing to fight separately for immigration policing reforms. President Trump saying this yesterday.
I guess they're getting fairly close, but I think any deal they make, I'm pretty much not happy with it.
Any Senate deal could still face an uphill battle in the House. Meanwhile, more delays at New York's LaGuardia Airport after the deadly crash between an Air Canada jet and a fire truck crossing the runway. Investigators say the truck did not have a transponder, key technology that could have prevented the crash.
The fire truck involved did not have a transponder, the electronic beacon that would have shown up in the control tower and would have waved off, told the Air Canada jet to go around.
The NTSB says there were 2 controllers in the tower doing the work of 4, which has become standard during certain hours.
Our air traffic control team has stated this is a problem, that this is a concern for them for years.
If you want job safety, but you're going to work your butt off, go and be an air traffic controller.
I can understand it's a concern.
Both Air Canada pilots were killed. The brother of pilot 30-year-old Antoine Forrest saying, "You left in a rush too early to say bye. I love you, my brother. You can now leave with your head held high." The co-pilot, identified as Mackenzie Gunther, graduated from Canada's Seneca Polytechnic in 2023. The wreckage is still sitting next to runway 4. That runway is not expected to reopen until Friday.
That's sad. It's very, very sad because those was really, really young pilots. And I just can't believe that we are still in a space where they are holding people's paychecks hostage. I can't believe that we live in this world. And this is really happening in real life and in real time. It's the weirdest thing ever. It makes no sense to me. You telling me that our government already anticipated this happening and Congress couldn't get something done, which then still have to go through the House for approval? It's so dumb. It is so stupid. But again, Welcome to American politics. The politicians are a reflection of the people that voted for them. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Before I read super chats, I want to pivot for 1 second and move over to something real quick.
Pews, silent bells, and closed doors. That could soon be a reality across the country. The National Council of Churches estimates that roughly 100,000 U.S. churches could close in the coming years, citing declining attendance, rising costs, and the aftermath of COVID-19 as contributing factors. I'm Brianna Dennehy, reporting from First Baptist Church in Abilene, where Pastor Ray Miller is weighing in on a change that could permanently reshape the landscape of American faith.
While numerical projections may rise and fall, Ray Miller believes the church is entering a period of change.
Stats come and go. We don't know how God's going to intervene and be involved. I do believe that church is going to be different in the next few years, but I also believe that church is always going to be relevant and always going to be important to people's lives. Part of what's driving this is the aging out of some people within it. So there's smaller attenders among millennials and Gen Z. But what churches need to do is get back to humble service, loving your neighbor, and having a deep fellowship with God and inviting people into that journey with God, into salvation and seeing the redemption of the world happen through Jesus Christ.
As churches nationwide face mounting pressures, the focus is shifting to how church leaders plan to adjust. K-Texas asked, what steps is First Baptist Church of Abilene taking now to safeguard its future?
We're always asking questions on how are we doing at reaching the next generation. Particularly for us, we have a huge community outreach that we invite people to participate in. So we want you to come serve alongside us. And as you serve alongside us, we believe that you'll meet the Savior.
Some local residents say the real question isn't whether churches will adapt, but whether people still want what they're preaching.
I'm with the church. I would leave too. I would shut down too. A lot of them would rather close down than to conform to giving up on what makes the church, and that's been the constant in the community. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a constant message, and the people just don't want that constant message. I guess God is saying, okay, then we got to go somewhere else because.
Oh, let me see the rest of the article before I judge.
God doesn't go where he's not wanted.
Others point to hypocrisy.
What?
Where the ideals embraced during worship are frequently at odds with everyday behavior.
Maybe God just got tired and he needs a break from all of us.
Jesus, Lord, have mercy. Help us, God.
Because we're just not listening anyway. We go and pretend to be something that we're not in church and then come back out and do whatever we want. And God's like, you reap what you sow.
The coming years will reveal which churches survive and which become a part of history.
Let me back up for a second, all right? Because I know that it's a new massive mosque. They're opening more mosques here in the United States of America than ever before. All right. Let's see if I can get this up here. Yep. This was months ago. It's going to be one of the biggest mosques here in the United States of America. It's actually right here in Dearborn Heights. Yep, look how big the parking lot is. We getting rid of churches and we building more spectacular mosques. And they say that it's really, really nice in the inside. I'm just telling you the truth. They say that it's super nice. Like it's super duper nice.
Here in front of the Islamic Institute of America, the day of Eid, end of Ramadan. A lot of police presence here. You can see all of them as many of the people here come to worship. Brand new facility, the largest mosque in the country. Beautiful facility. As people slowly come in for services today.
And it's packed. They say that it is packed. It's super packed. Yes, they did. Yep. They said it's super packed. It is bussing. Let me see something. Hold on, let me see if I can get it up for you guys. Mostly men too. You know how the church, the Christian church, and especially the black church, is overwhelmingly women. This one is different. These mosques, they're more overwhelmingly men. Overwhelmingly men. Look at the parking lot. The parking lot is full. Look at the line of cars to get into the parking lot. Jeez. Look at all of those people. And it is full and it's bussing. They ain't got to do no music. They don't have to do no special services. You ain't got to get Megan Thee Stallion to come in and perform. You don't have to do nothing. They open up a new mosque. That mug gonna look like Chick-fil-A out there. I'm telling you. Here over in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights, they're not playing no games. They're not playing no games. They opening up mosques like it ain't nothing out here in the streets. So when I sit there and I hear that, and I compare and contrast that to 100,000 churches over the next years are supposed to be shutting down, that tells me several different things and it paints a whole story. That's why I want to look at it from all lenses so I can speak to it more effectively. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it means. The first thing that it means, because it's layered, right? It's a layered situation. The first thing that it means is there are more people that have brought their culture over to the United States of America than those that have actually upheld the culture that they were raised in. Meaning that we have now opened up the United States to so many foreign tongues that they now are building what we would usually see over in the Middle East. They're building a more opulent version of it here in the United States of America. Our culture is no longer, American culture has no longer to do with anything that's Christianity related. Their schools, their mosques, synagogues, everything is bussing and they popping. We have let every tongue in this country unvetted, and they continue to do what they want to do when they want to do it. I'm just telling you the truth. It don't get no realer than that. They're having kids. They're bringing their culture. They taking over police departments. They're taking over schools. They're taking over. You think that Ilhan Omar is a mistake? No, she's a reflection of the people that voted her in, even if she's not from America. You think that Zoran Mamdani is a mistake? No, he's not. Bro, y'all should see what my representative looked like here in Detroit. This is what my rep looked like in Detroit. Crazy. Shree, that's who I called yesterday. Let me show you it. That's Shree. That's what my congressperson looked like. That's Shree. looking crazy, bro. If you look at members of Congress, somebody said Sammy Sosa. Oh my gosh, I can't stand this chat, bro. I cannot stand this chat. This is our culture. So the first thing is that they letting too many people in, unvetted, that then change the culture to mean what they want it to mean and to reflect what they want it to look like. The second thing is, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you. So y'all don't want to have this conversation, but I'm going to have a conversation with you. The second thing is that we've went a gay. No, you can say that too. We went a gay. We've went away from masculinity, bro. If you want to see the strength of any culture or in any environment, any city, any country, it's going to be evaluated and judged by the men. It's always, culture is going to rise and fall based off of the strength of the men. And now we've bred more feminine men and more single parent, single mother raised men than ever before. And guys have decided to walk away from the church. There is no more masculinity. And listen. It's people that's really out here seeking out spirituality, bro. It's some people that's truly seeking out spirituality. Like, people are hungry for something different. They're looking for it. They're searching for it. You know, when I seen that person say, well, maybe God is more prevalent than ever before. It's just not an expectation that's being met. It's not an expectation that's being met. I can't tell you how many people has asked me, Anton, why don't you do Bible study? Your car do Bible study. We do Bible study every single Saturday. Every single Saturday. Yeah, Chase Alpha, it's a real thing. Every single Saturday we do Bible, and it be bussing. And people love it. People love it. People are hungry. You know what they're hungry for? They're not hungry for pandering. They're not hungry for Jamal Bryant. They're hungry for the truth. They're hungry for the word. They want to know the honest to God truth of what it really takes. Even if it bothers them, even if it pricks their heart, they want to know it and they want to see it in real life. They don't want you to just talk it. They want you to live it. They want you to be a reflection of it. There's so many people that are hungry for God, and it is an unmet need, and that is the reason why they're walking away from church. Nobody walks away from a good thing. Nobody. Nobody walks away from their job because it's such a great job. Nobody walks away from a girl that's a good girl. You're going to have to break up with me because I ain't leaving. Even if I mess up, I love you still, though. I love you in real life. Even if you mess up, even if you make a mistake. But listen, I'm a bad baby girl. When you got a good thing, nobody walks away from a good thing. At all. They may act like they gonna do it. They ain't doing that. They chilling. They chilling. A girl that is invaluable is invaluable. An opportunity that is invaluable, it's invaluable. Now, everything has become a play. Everything has become about posturing, and they doing everything except for what they doing inside of the black church and in the church in general. You know what they spending their time doing? They spending their time trying to have dating services, hosting date night. They've been trying to be so inclusive that they've excluded the people that actually really want to serve God. Nah, Anton, you capping. These women stay walking away from good men. What did I just say? You're missing the context. You're missing the context. The state of any culture is based off of what the men do. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care about what they do. They follow us. It's not supposed to be the other way around. We're not supposed to be following them, church. They supposed to be following us and our lead into it. Maybe I should retitle this to be, it's about the men. Maybe I should title this better and title this whole thing to be about the men. When men are talking, we don't care about what women are talking about, bro. I'm not talking about women leaving good men. I said men don't leave a good thing. Men don't leave good women. That's the difference. Women are rebellious. Your children want to run away from home every time you discipline them. Guess what? That's what they do. I'm not talking about what the women do. Care nothing about what the women do. I'm talking about what the men do. You see all of the men that was inside of that church? They got a lower divorce rate. More of a community, working together, the whole 9 yards. Just trying to keep it 100 with you, bro. Churches close not because of anything community or economic. We got too many trash churches and we got too many trash cultures that support them. We do. And we've walked away from the thing that's best for us. And that's why you see things happen in the way it's supposed to happen. That's all you can think of? Mrs. Chandra, you know they have multiple wives. I'm not even talking about no multiple wives right now, man. I'm talking about God. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, I think it's a tragedy that we've gotten away from Christianity and or church. But I think that a lot of those churches that are closing it's a good thing. I don't think that that's a reflection of the fact that people are not chasing God. I think it's a reflection of the fact that a lot of those places are not places where God is at. That's not, they just not serving the people. They're not serving the community the way that they're supposed to. I think people can see that. People can see the real. I've seen people grow their churches and they be booming because the people really believe in the person that's leading it. It's a ton of people. It's a ton of young people that's chasing God. People are hungry. There's always going to be a thirst for understanding, a thirst for spirituality, a thirst for growth. Always. There's always going to be that. The question becomes, do we have the capability to fill that void? Serious question, Anton, do you go to church? I do. You know, it's difficult for me though sometimes because I don't want to say the church that I go to because I don't want people showing up just because I'm there. When I go to church, I'm there to praise God. I'm not there to impress people. I'm not there to try to connect. I'm not there to network. I'm not there to do none of that stuff. I go to church because I want to fellowship with the saints and I want to hear the word preached. That's why I go. I don't like announcing certain things. I don't like announcing whatever because I done seen people come in and they come in for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing a video of the representative talking. I'm not doing that. Oh, man. Will I ever become a pastor and open up a church? I'm going to do whatever I think that God is telling me to do. If God wanted me to do that today, then that's what I would do. I don't think that that's what my purpose is right now. I just go in whatever direction he's telling me to go. Because I don't think that a church is a building. That's just me personally. I don't think that a church is a building. I think that church is wherever you come together to praise God, congregate, preach the word, and give people an opportunity to save themselves and save souls. So I think that there's a greater expectation on a pastor, and you have to dedicate your every day, your every being to it. I'm not there yet. I would have to get there if God told me to get there. But, you know, I got my own weaknesses. I don't listen. If and when I was to ever do the church, you know, Anton has made some great strides and transformations in his life. You know, I'm not a part of the Boxalitis boys no more. You know what I'm saying? So I can't halfway do it. I got to be all the way in. I believe in the word. I believe in every aspect of the word of God. I'm not ready to not talk my stuff. I'm not ready to do a lot of things. So you're part of the Boxalitis boys. I just think that you got to truly, truly, truly be above. I think you have to be. I don't think it's enough to be a good person as a pastor. I think you have to be exceptional. I think you have to be exceptional. I don't think it's enough to just be a good person as a pastor. I don't think it's enough to just preach the word of God. I don't think it's enough to just say certain things. I believe you have to be exceptional. Exceptional. And you got to be called. Is it a possibility that it's in my future? Probably. So we'll see what happens. I think that God uses different people in different ways. Your ministry is not always as direct as that at that point. Anton, you don't go to Boxalitis Anonymous anymore. I never went to Boxalitis Anonymous. For what? That's why I'm married. I can get as much box as I want. You a boxaholic? Oh, man. Shout out to my girl, Rhonda Poole. All right, y'all. Let's pivot for a second. Shout out to the Boxalitis boys. Thank you, love. Sophia, hold the color purple jokes. Manny Plays PC says, just had a homeless man with a razor in his hand try to press me. Gotta love New York. You saw Ross's Watches part yet? Yeah, I watched it yesterday. I watched it, not the one that I reviewed. I watched the other video yesterday. Some horrible top fives last night. Talk about it. See, they ain't like that. They ain't like that I said they had bad top fives. You saw a lawyer stole $4 million in COVID fraud? Yeah, I seen that too. It was a woman, though, I thought it was a woman. Miss Eli says, who wore it better, Shree or Maxine Waters? Shree. Serious question. With the combination of small businesses, religious centers, and families, do you think Dearborn is the most conservative city in the state? No, I don't. Top five? I don't know. It's a lot of cities. It's a lot of cities in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? You got Western Michigan. You got Northern Michigan. You got a lot of cities. I'm not sure. I couldn't even tell you. I honestly couldn't even tell you. For real. All right, let's see what else is going on. Oh, snaps. All right. We got a cover at least 2 or 3 more. I want to go over this because we making sure that we fixing families today. And lawsuits. This is just a real quick hit. This is a quick hit.
Cosby invited her to his comedy show and then drugged and raped her. Now, a jury has awarded her almost $60 million. But will Cosby pay up? Jim Murray spoke with the woman about her victory in court.
Bill Cosby has been ordered to pay a whopping $59 million to a sexual assault victim. And the woman who won that stinging verdict yesterday is speaking out to Inside Edition today. How do you...
Bro, white people age differently. Black people have their own aging problems and they got their own health problems. White people, y'all truly do. A lot of y'all, I don't think y'all taking none of the beauty tips that these women is telling y'all on TikTok. You're not pulling your face back. None of that stuff. Y'all age crazy. And y'all don't even be looking that bad when y'all younger. I don't know what's up with white people. What do y'all be doing? Do y'all be laying in the tanning booths for a long time? Y'all don't even look like y'all got eyes. Like the wrinkles in y'all face come over so much to where it don't look like y'all got no eyeballs no more, bro. What is going on, man? I'm just asking a question. What's up with my snow bunnies and my snow hares? They said that she won 59 M's. What's wrong with the juries, bro? What's wrong with the juries? How are they why y'all telling me to stop? Now, y'all got it wrong. White people love it when I tease them. White people got really thick skin, just like this lady right here. White people got real thick skin. Black people be offended. White people, they think that's a part of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Bro, if you don't teach, man, no, I could take it. I could take it. Y'all don't understand white culture. White culture is different. Man, look. Let me teach y'all about white culture before we get back to it. This is going to be a teaching moment. Bro, you know that white men love to cook? That is a white man thing. White men love to they love sharing. They love accountability. They love giving their wives over to black men. Oh my God. This is crazy. I just get turned on offering her up to you. That's a white man thing. That's just the honest to God truth. This, you know me, I love my snow bunnies and snow hares. I love them all. Everybody got their own little idiosyncrasies. If you want to say that black women been ghetto and we're bonded inside of the airport, we not gonna fault you for that because it's the truth. If you want to say that it's a strong possibility that you've been to jail if you a black man raised in the inner city, I'm not gonna fault you for that. White people love to be inclusive. That's why they run out there protesting for an illegal migrant. They don't care how bad they are. Oh, yeah, no. We're putting up a barrier even if they kill somebody. It doesn't matter. And they offer up their girls as tribute, the whole 9 yards. Remember when I was in Oklahoma City? As soon as I was in Oklahoma City, I landed in Oklahoma City. They said, oh my God, man, you should really bust down my girl. What? What do you mean? I told Quentin, I said, man, what kind of city is this that you got going on over here? So what kind of foolishness is this? I did. I said, what you got going on over here, buddy? What's happening? It's crazy in Oklahoma City, bro. It's absolutely insane in Oklahoma City. I said, man, get me up out of here. I don't want your little pink pig. I don't want your little pink pig. I'm good. I'm straight. I'll pass. I will pass 100% out of 100. But my point is that y'all keep on pity patting and using kid gloves. Bro, they get these jokes just like everybody else and they enjoy it. They ain't going nowhere. They gonna be there. They gonna be there. Shout out to my snow bunnies, snow bunny bag chasers. Shout out to my snow hares. AD, did you bust down a snow bunny for the homie? Man, I don't want your chick. I don't want your little raggedy chick. If you had her, I don't want her. Y'all just overly freaked out and overly sexed out. Man, I don't want your chick. I don't want nothing to do with your little funky hoe. I mean, funky girl. That's y'all thing. That's these sexual deviants that can't control themselves. And y'all want to be out there. Nah, I'm good, bro. I don't want your chick. If you've been with her, you nasty thing. I'm good off that, bro. I don't want your chick.
Feel after all of these years being victorious in this case?
It's amazing. It's bigger than just me. It sends a message that it's never too late to report sexual assault.
Donna Motzinger is now 84. She says the disgraced TV icon raped her 54 years ago when she was a 30-year-old waitress at a celebrity bar near.
Yeah, I think that Bill hit that. Bill probably hit that. She still got them crazy eyes. She got that one eye that's bigger than the other. Yeah, Bill probably tapped that. Bill was a wild boy. Wild boy Bill.
Raped her 54 years ago when she was a 30-year-old waitress.
I don't think that he raped her. I think he probably hit it. He probably said, yeah, man, here's this. Let me go on about your way. And she remembered him because he had that afro. He kept on being on TV talking about Porter. So she remembered him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, Bill. But look at what she used to look like. And look at her now. It's crazy.
At a celebrity bar near San Francisco. She claims Cosby invited her to his comedy show and gave her wine and 2 pills that she thought were aspirin. She says she went in and out of consciousness and that 2 men carried her into a limo. When she woke up hours later
So y'all just randomly taking aspirin? Are y'all randomly taking aspirin from strangers? That's all I'm asking. Hey, you want some aspirin? I ain't never heard nobody say, yeah, man, I'll take some aspirin just because. Who takes aspirin for the sake of taking aspirin? Get out of here, bro. Come on, man. I can't, bro. I can't. How do y'all know how they proved this? 54 years ago. She brought this up today. From 54 years ago. How, bro? I'm not going for it, man. Yeah, I think Bill hit it. No, I don't think that Bill raped her. No, bro. No.
her home, she says she was wearing only her underwear and realized immediately that she had been raped.
It'll never go away.
She got them black eyes, bro. Dog, I'm good. She got them all black eyes, man. It ain't them eyes is dark.
Kind of thing never goes away. I do have closure and I did get justice, but it's ongoing that a lot of women are suffering like I did.
Cosby is now 88 and reportedly blind and infirm and rarely leaves his home in Pennsylvania. He did not testify at the civil trial in L.A., but gave a deposition.
When you went on the date with Miss Motzinger, did you want to have sex with her?
Yes.
Are you denying that you had sex with Miss Motzinger in 1972?
I don't remember having sex with her.
He's been forced to sell one Manhattan townhouse.
Man, when a dude come on and do a deposition, he ain't even got to lie because it ain't like it's no DNA test. He could have lied. He could have said, man, I ain't hit that. I ain't mess with that. I ain't do none of this or whatever. This was her word against his. That's why I believe Bill, bro. That's why I believe Bill. Bill ain't even hesitate. He said, yeah, man, of course. Yes, I wanted to. Bill ain't even lying to you. He telling you right away. He said, yes. He didn't say, I think so. No, whatever. No, he ain't do none of that. He ain't do none of that. Bill just answered yeah, man. Yes. Yes. I believe Bill. I believe Bill. I believe Bill. I believe Bill 100%. But either way, bro, man, this is the thing about, I don't like this, man. Because 54 years ago, they just took her word for it. Wasn't no evidence, wasn't no none of that. It was just 100% this, whatever. Okay, so they took her word for it. Her word against his, and they say, yep, 54 years ago, I believe you, believe all women, okay? How did y'all come up with $59 million? How did y'all come up with a determination that she deserves $59 million? That is insane, bro. That is insane. How do y'all come to that conclusion? $59 million? Ain't no box in the world that's worth $59 million. Not one piece of box in the world. $59 million. That's crazy, bro. That's insane.
Having sex with her.
He's been forced to sell one Manhattan townhouse and another is for sale for $7 million. But his net worth is still estimated to be $128 million.
We are going to go to the ends of the earth to make sure Bill Cosby pays every penny because that's what Ms. Motzinger deserves, justice.
In 2018, Cosby was sentenced to 10 years.
Hey, man, listen, bro. Listen. He was sentenced to 10. He got out on an appeal, and they proved that it was, some fraudulent stuff that was happening and it wasn't right. Man, let that man have his put in pops. If he was smart, if he got any decent lawyers, he probably moved every asset and have already got rid of every asset that he has, gave it to the kids, set it off or whatever. Whatever he got going on, moved it overseas, moved it into other people's names. At this point, Bill probably then got rid of every piece of asset that he can already get rid of. So whatever they get out of him, I don't think it's going to be close to $59 million. Yeah, they just destroying these dudes' legacies. Just destroying their legacies. Somebody said that means when we get old, we can get sued. No, you can get sued. You can get sued. You can get sued by yourself. I believe in doing the suing, not getting the sued. I believe in that. Because you ain't getting no settlement out of me. I'm going to come for everything you got. Not a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime. Not one dime. I think that's wrong. I think they did Bill Cosby wrong, and I don't like it. Let Bill make it, man. Let him make it. They did Bill wrong. Shout out to Bill, man. You don't deserve that, bro. All of the greatness that you gave us, they want to destroy your image all the way. He said, we don't want no Cosby show influence whatsoever, no positivity, no nothing. Just give them Cardi B, give them Lotto, and give them 21, 21, 21. Is knowledge the most important part of any business? No. Absolutely not. Knowledge is never the most important part of any business at all. Marketing is. Carrington Love Jr. says, not listening to none of the TikTok beauty tips. Bro, that was one of your best jokes. Equal Opportunity Smoke, what up? Says, don't let AD lie to y'all. I had the best top 5 he ever heard. Shout out to UOG and the Bag Chasers. I'm still laughing from last night. Yeah, we was cracking up. That joke was funny to the mug. Rest up to the OF founder. Why y'all saying rest up to the OnlyFans founder? Why do we care about him? Give a piss about what he did? Bill out here hitting that vanilla pudding. Vanilla pudding. Chase Barnes, I appreciate you for the 20 ball. You gave me a 40 ball. You came back and said, what up, though? What is this lady going to do with $59 million by a lifetime of Life Alert? They don't care. They just want to take Bill down. Maddie Plays PC says she's trying to leave something for the family before she get up out of here. AD, let me get that new. AD, let me get that new just because aspirin. Crazy. I heard that OpenAI is shutting down Sora. Now, this is crazy. But let me get the full context before I comment on it.
All right, we got some breaking news out of the business world. OpenAI saying it's shutting down its video generation platform, Sora. You see the post here on Sora's X account. Their message to people who used it: what you made with Sora mattered, and we know this news is disappointing. The AI videos, like the ones you see here,
Slimmy
have
bitter.
generated some
We'll get to
controversy.
Slimmy in a
Critics
minute.
saying they're a breeding ground for potential copyright infringement or about deep fakes. Brian Chung is joining us now with more on this. They just had this $1 billion deal with Disney.
Yeah.
They've actually talked about on the podcast. And now it sounds like they're ending their partnership and they're shutting down their doors.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And what was remarkable about that Disney partnership was that it was only in December.
Yeah.
Sora, as a video generating platform, again, the idea is that it's a text to video. You just kind of type in what you want, and then this AI creates that video for you. It was only over a year old. I think it was released to the public in December of 2024. And now you have OpenAI saying they're shutting this thing down. Now, the OpenAI company does say that they decided to discontinue Sora as they focus and compute demand grows. They say that they want to focus on things that are real world physical tasks. And then Disney, which is the other big aspect of this, as you point out, they had a $1 billion equity investment in OpenAI as a result of a partnership where they said, we are going to allow Disney characters on Sora, again, arguably the most recognizable library of characters ever. Disney's saying in response to this news that they appreciate the constructive collaboration and essentially that they respect the company's decision to close down that particular platform. We don't know what happens with that investment. They haven't responded to the questions about that. But again, this is just kind of showing us how fast things are moving in the AI.
I just wonder if it's about profitability. And I only ask that because, Sam Altman, he's got a lot of pressure on him and they're trying to take OpenAI eventually public, right? Is this an indication that they felt as if maybe Sora was not as profitable for them, for their bottom line, as they thought it was going to be, hence why they're shutting those doors?
Yeah, different companies feel differently about this. So you have Google and Grok, now that OpenAI has essentially shuttered Sora as the only really remaining big players that have these video generators. Grok's is called Imagine, Google's is called VO, but I should point out Anthropic. That's the big one. A lot of people have been talking about Claude. Anthropic has chosen from the get-go to not do image or video generators.
Yeah, a lot of companies are more or less focusing on tasks than they are about anything related to let's create a video. I don't want to create no template. I don't want to create a template. Let's keep it simple. Create a video of let's go down a little bit. Let's get a little bit more closer. 25-year-old act. City Street and downtown Detroit in the daytime with temperature is 75 degrees in September. There are onlookers trying his attention. He is focused on a, let's make him 35. Pretty black, 25-year-old pretty black woman with long hair and carrying a 2-year-old child. Looking. Let's see what we can come up with. So this can take 2 to 3 minutes. But I think that Gemini, I've been using OpenAI and I've been using Gemini. And I think that Gemini is way up and above a lot better than Sora was at generating video and completing certain tasks. Claude is really a task-based AI that a lot of developers, a lot of people that are doing things technical are using. They also use Gemini, some combination of Claude and Gemini. I think that OpenAI is kind of sort of falling behind in the race. They were the ones that first came out with everything. You using Pro? I use Pro too. I think I pay like $250 a month for my Pro, but it does some crazy tasks, some insane tasks. And I actually went over a lot of the different tasks over a year ago. Inside of the Patreon. Might have been a little less than a year ago. I'm going to do a deep dive and I'm going to show y'all some of the apps that I've built, some of the tasks that I go into. I'm not going to do it here on the Millionaire Morning Show. We can actually go into it on the Patreon. But we leverage, me and my team, the people that we rock with over here, we're leveraging Gemini extensively. Now, the one thing about it is that doing video, it takes a lot longer. You are an AI resume builder? Yeah. Doing video, it takes a lot longer because it's generating different frames. Frame by frame by frame, all of that is generating frames in order to put all of this together. So until we go ahead and get back to the video, let's go back to this whole conversation. As soon as this loads, I'll show you what it generated based off of that prompt.
Point out OpenAI says they're still going to do images, but different companies feel differently about what's the best strategy. I should point out there's also a legal liability aspect to it. Deep fake pornography is a big issue with these types of video generators, and it's just maybe unclear if OpenAI saw that as a potential liability here.
It's major, though, I have to say, really major.
Big
It's
deal.
surprising. Brian Chung, thank you.
I don't think that it's going away completely, though. I think it's going to be relaunched and revamped because everything AI is ultimately going to show and be whatever it is it's going to be. I don't think that they're going to completely remove it. I think that they're eventually going to bring it back, but I think that they're putting and deploying their resources towards things that actually matter. That's what I think is happening. I don't think that they're just shutting it down and that's the end of the conversation at all. So it's very interesting. But again, we spend it, we buy all different versions of all of the different platforms because we want to leverage it and utilize it as best as we possibly can. But I don't think that AI is going anywhere as far as OpenAI getting rid of images completely altogether. And it's funny because when it launched out and when it came out, everybody was going crazy. Everybody was acting like, oh my God, you know, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. There's nothing that we can do or nothing that we can, you know, AI is going away. Nah, it's not. It's a task-based software. And it's going to be used to complete tasks on a regular basis to help improve your workflow, help improve your life, and it can be used for some of the greatest things ever. Now, there are some people that are using AI for stupid reasons and for dumb stuff, but, you know, what can you say about that? It's just like the internet. The internet is supposed to be here and it's supposed to be meant for us to do some awesome things. And, you know, people are going to take it and do whatever it is that they're going to do with it. This is taking a long time. I wonder if this is if it's a slow server or something like that. Let me see something really quickly. Give me 1 second. Let me see something. I'm surprised that it's not more people that are talking about this.
Sora, the OpenAI video app that was supposed to revolutionize the world, is shutting down after less than a year of operation. When it first debuted, people were wowed from the distinct step up from the Will Smith eating spaghetti quality they'd seen beforehand. Then when it solidified as an app last year, it quickly became the most downloaded on the store. However, enough AI video technology has been developed to eclipse it in terms of popularity, so right now it's become something of a flop. This is also after a deal with Disney was set in stone to bring 200 plus characters to Sora and ChatGPT, allow certain Sora clips to be streamed.
It was a server problem. All right, I just put it in on something else. Let me see what it generated. It should be interesting.
Hey, wait up, it's him.
Elena, please, you have to listen to me. Just give me a second.
I don't want anything to do with you. Leave us alone. Hey, wait up, it's him.
Oh, that is so dumb. What is this man right here that's in a dress? Is that a man?
Elena, please, you have to listen to me. Just
Oh my God, that is so funny. Said create a video. I guess I didn't tell her what to say. Create a video of a 35-year-old professional black man walking down a busy city street in downtown Detroit in the daytime. The temperature is 75 degrees on September. There are onlookers trying to get his attention. However, he is focused on a 25-year-old pretty black woman with longer hair and darker skin looking appalled while carrying a 2-year-old child. I guess I should have gave it some more insight, right? No? That's pretty funny. Hold on, let me see something quick. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna tell y'all. Because I got a bunch of prompts. Like I got literally folders and folders of folders and prompts. He said, do it again, Slimmy. Hold on, let's give it a different prompt. Here, let's do this. Let's try something new. Let's go. Let's change this real quick. Oh, man. It is pretty good. It's pretty good. I didn't write no crazy prompt. I just gave you an example of what's possible. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me read some of y'all's super chats. People still don't see how Anton manipulate these panel convos in 2026. Stay asleep, y'all. No, that's not true, Slimmy. But I find the timing of the Jay interview interesting amidst the country being at war. Slimmy, you just the ultimate conspiracy theorist, bro. TS Car Washington Detail Service says 54 years is wild, big dog. All these women say I couldn't come out because I was scared to say anything. Is cap. I was on at Slimmy says sad last night because I need my hat. Slimmy, you were right, big dog. They Kunta Kinte and Bill to keep us from bucking. Slow Money says, Yo Gotti, Currency, Jay-Z, Nipsey, and Cameron. Man, y'all let's be bad as hell. Letitia Workout says, hello, my friend. I'm getting ready to receive a $400,000 settlement. Congratulations. From a workman's comps case. And I also received $3,000 a month for SSDI. Okay, well, make sure you put it in a brokerage account. Set up a Fidelity account, put it in a brokerage account, get you some index funds, put it in an ETF, and let it roll over and continue to live your life. Act like it don't even that it don't even exist. What up? Malik says I generate AI cornos of me go. Oh my God, that's so crazy. Who is that lady? Says I don't know. It's just a picture that's publicly available on the internet. I just wanted to experiment with some stuff. All right, y'all. Shout out to the Logical Pill says gonna invest in either Gemini or ChatGPT for my fitness and real estate business. Which one do you recommend? Gemini all day long. Gemini all day long. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tonight. Peace. Great stream.